Hey everybody, I'm Tim Selby. Thank you for joining me. Hey, there's some people in South America and Colombia, in the Sierra Nevada de Santa Marta region. I'm sure you know exactly where that is, as do I. Not. But in this place, there's some people called the Kogi people, Kogi, the Kogi people. And they have a beautiful ritual called a Luna. And a Luna is a ritual that they do at the time of the rising of the sun, when they sing and chant together to help the sun in its rising and to help to keep the balance in the universe. So at the time of the rising sun, they gather together and they face east towards that sun, and they sing and chant in unison with instruments like flutes and drums. And they sing as they invoke and assist the sun in its rising and give thanks for its light and its warmth. They think their prayers and their songs help to connect the physical and the spiritual world in a powerful way. They also have a similar ritual they do at sunset, when again they gather together, they face west toward the setting of the sun. They think it's a time to reflect on the day gone by, a time of releasing negative energies that might have built up during the day, and to focus on the positive energies. As again, they use songs and instruments to celebrate at the setting of the sun. Such beautiful rituals, aren't they? As these people participate in the rising and the setting of the sun and the rhythms of the universe. Maybe think about these people this week as we think about the time of Easter. Easter comes to us as Christian people with such a sunrise energy to it as we move from darkness to light, both physical darkness to light and metaphorical or spiritual darkness to light as well. So in the scriptures, we have 4 different accounts of the resurrection. They're all a little bit different. And actually, the post-resurrection stories of what happened after that Easter morning are very different, and we'll explore that in weeks ahead. But today, I really want to just focus on what happened on that Easter morning. In the Gospel of Matthew, it says that there's 2 Marys that go to the tomb. And these 2 Marys go to the tomb, and it says, and suddenly there was an earthquake, and an angel of the Lord rolled away the stone, and his appearance was like lightning. So have an earthquake and a person appearing that looks like lightning. And in this particular gospel, that person there that looks like lightning in a sense says to them, Jesus is not here. Go and tell the disciples that he has gone ahead of them to Galilee, and he will meet them there. So Galilee is home, basically. He says, tell them to go home, and he will meet them in that place. It's the Gospel of Matthew. In the Gospel of Mark, we have 2 Marys. Again, 2 Marys go to the tomb, but also another woman named Salome also goes with them. And when they go there, they find that the stone has already been rolled away before they even get there. But there is also a man dressed in white who says, the one you look for is not here. He's been raised. And it says, and they leave that place in terror and amazement. And they say nothing to anybody because they're afraid. Wow, what an ending to that particular gospel. Then in the Gospel of Luke, we have 2 Marys again that go, but also another woman named Joanna, and then also it says, and other women. So it's like a whole women's group going to the tomb here in the Gospel of Luke. And they go to that tomb, and Jesus isn't there. And there's 2 men there this time. There's 2 men, and they say, go tell the disciples that he's been raised. And they go to tell them, and the disciples don't believe them. They think this is an idle tale. And then we have the Gospel of John that we read last week or a couple weeks ago on Easter. And in the Gospel of John, it's just Mary Magdalene alone that while it's still dark, goes to the tomb. And when she goes, she again finds that stone has been rolled away before she gets there. And when she gets there, she goes and tells the disciples, and then they run and have a look, and then they leave, and she stays there and encounters one that she thinks is the gardener, but it's not the gardener. And he says her name, and it changes everything. 4 real different stories about what happened there with some really important commonalities. And here's the important commonalities. Easter begins while it's still dark, in this movement from darkness to light. In all 4 of those Gospels, the stone is a central feature. The stone has been rolled away in all 4 Gospels, and Jesus is not in that tomb. 4 Gospels, 3 important messages, dark to light. The stone is rolled, and Jesus is not held by the tomb any longer. Now, I think if we as Christians want to live in that Easter place as Easter people, if we want Easter to be appropriated in our lives, I think we have to maintain that same kind of stone rolling energy. There was an energy that rolled those stones away, whatever it was, angels, God, people, the power of God, whatever it was, there was an energy that rolled those stones away, and we need to maintain that kind of energy to roll the stones away. Because that stone, it symbolized the finality, the victory of death over life, the sealing away of Jesus in the tomb, in the darkness, in death. It was like a black hole sealed away by this stone. But the stone gets rolled. And I think we have stones in our lives, things that cut us off from living as fully and deeply as we can, things that suck our life away, things that would seal us away. And I think we need to keep rolling those stones out of our lives and out of our world. Perhaps it's the stone of anger and bitterness that seals you away. Perhaps there's anger in your heart and you can't let it go, and it diminishes your life and your joy, and we need to move and roll that stone. For a lot of us, I think the stone of fear and anxiety is a large and heavy stone that can suck the life out of us as we get lost and overwhelmed by our fears and our anxieties. And by the power of God, may we roll that stone away. Or maybe it's the stone of greed as you seek to have more and more in life, more things, more money, more power, more influence, whatever it might be. But it doesn't make you happy because you're looking in the wrong places for the wrong things. And what we really need to do is roll the stone of greed out of our lives. Maybe it's the stone of addiction. And addiction comes in so many forms. But maybe it's that stone of something that overtakes our life and controls us. And we need to find the courage to say to people, we need help. We need help because we can't overcome this thing on our own. Help us, help me to roll this stone out of our lives and to ask for those around us to help us. Perhaps it's this stone of despair. I hear some despair in the air in our culture lately that, the future looks bad, the climate's going to be bad, politics is bad, war abounds. The stone of despair should be rolled away as there's so much hope and so much possibility in our world and in our lives. Sometimes the stone that seals our lives away can feel so big. It can seem completely immovable. How can we possibly move these kind of stones? They're so powerful in our lives. And when we feel like that, I think we can take a lesson from all these women that went to the tomb on that Easter morning. In some of the Gospels, it says, as they walked to the tomb, they actually wondered aloud, who will help us roll the stone away? They knew they couldn't do it. They knew it was too heavy. They knew it was too much. But guess what they did? They just went anyway. They just started walking. They just started moving towards Jesus in some way. It was all they knew to do. And somehow along that journey, they found that the stone had been rolled and something miraculous had happened. I want to share a little poem. This is a poem by Langston Hughes. It's called Roll Away. Sounds like this. Roll away, rolling stone. Roll far away from here. Find yourself a new home, far away from fear. Roll away, rolling stone. Roll away from pain. Leave behind your sorrow. and find your joy again. Roll away, rolling stone. Roll away from hate. Let your love shine brightly. Never hesitate. Roll away, rolling stone. Roll away from doubt. Trust in your own journey and let your soul reach out. I think Langston Hughes hits on the energy we need. Roll away, rolling stones. Roll away from hate and fear and doubt and all that would take our lives away. I think, like those Kogi people, we need our own ritual. They have the ritual of a luna, of helping the sun to rise. Well, as Christian people, we use our songs, our chants, our prayers, and our lives to assist the sun in his rising, that different kind of sun that brings us life and light and goodness. Let us be those who roll stones. Let us be Easter people and roll stones out of our lives and out of our world by the power of the risen Christ who moves us all from darkness to light. Blessings and peace be with all of you.